powerful? Do you feel anything at all? Just looking at you, you can see the thing. But you're so disgusting. Pathetic. The truth is, I'm angry. When I heard the news, I promised her that I would fight for her, and I am. Truck. And then took off to her the night of January 17th. The emotional toll of losing KayLee has been so overwhelming. She was my firstborn granddaughter, and my
daughter's best friend had almost killed her. I was out of the country and I was not able to be there immediately.
There, because you're cowards, because you couldn't face it face on for blood. Michael, you had the wheel. You were the one in control. I've seen the last video of KayLee alive. She was going 80 to 90 miles per hour in the 50-mile-per-hour zone. You controlled the speed, you saw what was happening. You knew what was about to go down, and you still kept driving. You stopped. You could have stopped, you could have said no, but instead you watched it unfold and did nothing. And after it was done,
her future was wide open, and she wasn't afraid to chase it. She was fearless. She rode bulls, dirt bikes, and took on life without hesitation. There's no grief deeper than that of a parent burying their child. It is a wound that never heals, an absence that is felt in every birthday, every holiday, every ordinary day. Factor, number of victims. This case has multiple victims. KayLee Dutton is no longer here. Sydney Neal, who was injured, traumatized, will never be the same. In addition to KayLee and Sydney are the parents, family members, and friends, many of whom the court has
face the family right now while I say this, but no amount of words I could say will ever change what happened or make things right. And I don't expect forgiveness ever. I would feel the exact same way if it was my loved ones. But I'm truly sorry.
Mr. Galloway, I'm going to impose the maximum sentence allowed by law on each count. The court has considered the gravity and circumstances of the offenses, the number of victims, and the character and rehabilitative needs of you as the defendant, and I do find that consecutive terms are warranted. I therefore sentence you on count 1, murder, to serve 15 years to life in the Utah State Prison. I sentence you on counts 2 through 6, felony discharge of a firearm with serious bodily injury, to serve an additional 5 consecutive terms of 5 years to life in the Utah State Prison. To be clear, these 6 sentences will each run consecutive to each other.
Every week, trying to help individuals who've committed heinous acts, criminal acts of various types, people who have violated our laws and violated our accepted societal norms that are gathered here today, is not because Mr. Hess-Witucki wants the court or anyone else to believe that he did so that he would be treated.
Your Honor, Dutton family, Neal family, and friends, I am sorry for the pain and sorrow that I have caused your family and this town, and so many more. I know saying sorry won't make up for the loss of your daughter, KayLee, and the trauma and pain Sydney goes through. It's a pain that's unimaginable for most, and most will never experience. There's so much I could have done that night on January 17, 2025, but I didn't. I ran from the scene of a heinous crime, and I can never go back to that night and those last moments. Kimberly and Waylon. I'm sorry as I watched as Ethan Galloway fired a gun from my vehicle into your daughter's vehicle and injuring Miss Sydney Neal. I watched and did nothing. I saw the video of when the first responders arrived and when you both arrived at the scene. All that trauma and pain and heartbreaking emotions I could never truly feel or understand. A mother and father losing their daughter at the age of 17, not getting to experience so much and exploring this beautiful world. A woman's child's life is so precious. She didn't deserve this. None of you deserve this. Nor this community. This town and community that let me call it home. And I failed everyone. I don't expect to receive anyone's forgiveness for my actions. I understand that. I won't beg for a shorter sentence. I accept my responsibility and all. I accept anything Your Honor sentences me to today. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hess. I am going to impose the maximum sentence allowed by law on each count. I am going to run these sentences consecutive to one another. This court has considered the gravity and circumstance of the offenses, the number of victims, and the character and rehabilitative needs of the defendant, and finds that consecutive sentences are warranted. I therefore sentence you on count 1, murder, to serve 15 years to life in the Utah State Prison. I sentence you on count 2, felony discharge of a firearm, to serve an additional consecutive term of 5 years to life in the Utah State Prison.